When many of us think about getting maximum value from our credit cards, sign-up bonuses, benefits, and credits typically come to mind. However, we shouldn't discount how valuable spend multipliers can be, especially over a long period of time. And we should certainly strive to spend on cards with higher multipliers if we're not trying to hit a sign-up bonus or use a statement credit. It's really a beautiful thing how there are cards out there that come with very favorable multipliers while also coming with no annual fee. In this one, let's compare two of these cards, namely the Citi Custom Cash and the Chase Freedom Flex, and then determine which one is the better card overall. Let's start by going over the main draw of these two cards, which is their elevated spend multiplier in certain categories. The Chase Freedom Flex offers 5% cash back on quarterly rotating categories on up to $1,500 in spend each quarter. It's presented as cash back to make it more marketable for the general public, but do know that it's actually 5x Chase Ultimate Reward points, which can be redeemed for more than 1 cent per point if you combine it with other Chase cards such as the Chase Sapphire Preferred, Chase Sapphire Reserve, and Chase Ink Preferred. The current Q1 2024 categories are groceries, excluding big box stores like Walmart and Target, warehouse stores and some other exclusions, fitness clubs and gym memberships, self-care, and spa services. To get a better sense of other 5X categories that may be coming up, here's a summary of what was offered in 2023. Overall, there's pretty good coverage across diverse categories, and with some categories, many of us can get the maximum 7,500 points in the quarter or close to it with our organic spending. For example, many of us get groceries on a consistent basis and also shop at Amazon regularly. However, I think it's fair to assume that pretty much none of us will be able to max out the 5X categories consistently throughout the year. Personally, groceries and PayPal were the only two categories that I was able to almost fully utilize. This card has offered PayPal in Q4 since 2019, which makes it an easy choice to take advantage of online end-of-year sales. I'd love to hear about your favorite 5X categories over the years if you don't mind sharing below in the comments. Also, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you find value. The Citi Custom Cash, on the other hand, offers 5% cash back on your top spending category each month on up to $500 in spend. Again, the cashback terminology isn't totally representative, as it's actually 5x Citi thank you points, which can be redeemed for more than 1 cent per point if combined with other cards such as the Citi Premier or the Citi Prestige for those of you who still have the card. The categories being offered are quite extensive, and maximizing the spend of $500 per month gets you the same number of points, so 2,500 a month or 7,500 over 3 months, as you'd get if you maxed out the 1,500 quarterly spend on the Freedom Flex. However, it should be much easier to get those 2,500 points on the Custom Cash on a regular basis, given that you and not the credit card company has complete control over which category has the 5x multiplier. The most optimal way to use the Custom Cash would be to put a maximum of $500 each month on just one type of spend. So, for example, keeping the card in your car and just filling up on gas. The simplicity that the Citi Custom Cash has makes it a better card for those people who don't want to consistently monitor the quarterly categories on the Chase Freedom Flex. Note also on the Freedom Flex, you have to activate the category before the 5x takes effect, which is not something you have to do on the Citi Custom Cash. The Custom Cash is also better if you want to guarantee the 5x multiplier on a particular type of spend that you know you'll consistently spend on each month. I'd say the only benefit on the 5x multiplier on the Freedom Flex would be 1, you have multiple categories, and 2, you don't have to spend an even $500 each month to maximize the quarterly category. For example, you can spend $800 in month 1, $600 in month 2, and $100 in month 3, and you'd still get the maximum 7,500 points. Though if you replicated this on the Custom Cash, the extra $300 in month 1 and $100 in month 2 would only have a 1x multiplier. So from my view, the 5x multiplier on the Citi Custom Cash edges out that on this Chase Freedom Flex. However, before we go ahead and declare the Citi Custom Cash as the better overall card, let's first match up some of the other features on the two cards, starting with the current sign-up bonuses. Putting them side by side, we can see that both have a $200 or 20,000 point bonus, but the spend requirement on the Freedom Flex is significantly lower at $500 in 3 months compared to the $1,500 in 6 months on the custom cash. Yes, you do have more time to hit the spend requirement on the custom cash, but even if you were to adjust the spend requirement for a 3-month period, it's still higher at $750. There is also a second part to the sign-up bonus on the Freedom Flex, where you'll get 5x points on combined gas station and grocery store purchases on up to $12,000 in spend in the first year. A really cool thing about this part of the bonus is that if gas or groceries is also a quarterly 5x category like in the current quarter, you'll be able to stack the two elevated multipliers and get a total of 9x on your spend. The way it works is that you get 1x base spend and then an additional 4x from the quarterly category, and an additional 4x from the sign-up bonus. I think without a doubt, the Chase Freedom Flex wins out over the Citi Custom Cash in terms of the sign-up bonus. The Freedom Flex also wins out in terms of its other spend multipliers. It took me some next level problem solving to nail down this comparison, and so here it is. The Chase Freedom Flex has other elevated multipliers, and the Citi Custom Cash doesn't. 5x on travel through the Chase Travel Portal, 3x on dining, and 3x on drugstores. All of these can have some value, though personally, I really only utilize the 3x on drugstores. I often get these 30% or 40% off coupons from CVS, and so I get a lot of my necessities there and CVS codes as a drugstore. Bringing it all home, I think that in terms of the main standout feature of these two cards, which is the 5x multiplier on one or more categories, I think the Citi Custom Cash is better, but the Chase Freedom Flex is better in terms of some of its other main features, such as the sign-up bonus and other ancillary multipliers. Fortunately, we're not forced to forego the advantages of one card by just getting the other card. These two cards can actually complement each other pretty well in that you can get 5x multiplier on several spend categories, assuming that in the current quarter, the Chase Freedom Flex multiplier works out for you. Also, there are no annual fee cards, so even if you don't end up using them, it's not like you're losing value. I talked about another great no annual fee card in this video here. Hope to see you there, and that's it for this one. Peace.